Is anyone familiar with the Takadimi method?
The what?
Okay, so Takadimi, there's solfege for like tones and like notes, you know. This is rhythmic solfege, Takadimi. It's kind of, you probably know like a variation of this from elementary school. It's like the ta, ti thing, but this is like the actual like the method that's like known everywhere. If you say Takadimi method to someone that's like knows like rhythmic solfege, they'll probably be able to read it off to you just like this. Does anyone want to explain the note length corresponding with the Takadimi syllable to Colette and Anna?
Ta is always like the first part of the beat, like the downbeat, and then if it's split in half, the second half is always going to be D. If it's split into 4 parts, then the beats are, or the solfege syllables are ta, ka, di, and mi.
Yep. So you know one Anna, like that counting system. It's like that, but instead of the one and the e and the and all that, it's replaced with ta, tadi, and takadimi. And there's a science behind it, and we won't like get too much into that, but it just basically makes it easier for you to be able to read it. So you're basically making up lyrics to music based on the rhythm that's in there. And in order to get to the drums, we have to learn how to accurately do the rhythms. And you see, does anyone see anything a little bit difficult in the music? Yes, Anna?
Maybe measure 5.
Measure 5, yep. What's difficult?
It's different from anything that has been played yet, and there's like dotted eighth notes.
Yep. So in regular rhythmic solfege, like a simple beat, you would do like ta-di, 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 ta, takadimi, takadimi, ta-di, ta, and that's simple. But then when you come down to a dotted eighth, it becomes like, well, what do I say there? But it's actually still simple. You, instead of saying the ka-di in the middle of there, since it's all one duration, then it's ta, mi, takadimi, ta, mi, ta. So you say the mi, which is the 4th like division of the beat. And then there's a bit something a little bit funky here also, where you're actually starting on the D, so it's D ta, D ta, and that may trip you up, so I'd watch for that. And something about this music that is a little bit tricky is that you've got you go straight from this rhythm, and then you know that now after you've played it. But then this is a very similar rhythm, but there are some differences towards the beginning, and then it becomes the same thing. So don't let that trip you up. Yeah, it's just watch for any differences that you might see. And I'd like to talk about this music. There's an improv section, but when we're running through this with a Takadimi method to learn the phrasing and all of that, we won't do any improv yet, but when we get to the drums, we will be improvising. But for right now, we're all just going to do backgrounds and no repeats, and we're going to do a run through using Takadimi. And I'm just going to do a demonstration of the first phrase, which is the first 8 bars, with Takadimi. Does anyone want to join me? Anybody? Okay. Everybody stand up. Actually, we're gonna try it. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to start us off, and if you'd like to join in, like Mary's volunteered, you can join in whenever. Bless you, and you need a tissue?
No.
But if you'd like to join in, keep track with where we are. If you've lost your position in the music, then just raise your hand. There's no shame. I got lost on Corey's piece earlier, so don't worry about it. It happens to everybody. But yeah, Mary and I will be starting us off, and if you feel comfortable, then just join in. If you feel like you've got it. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta-di, 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 ta, takadimi, takadimi, ta-di, ta, ta-di, ta-di, takadimi, ta, takadimi, 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 ta,
ta mi taka dimi ta mi ta di ta di taka dimi ta di ta di ta di ta di ta.
Okay, so something that I noticed towards the end is that this really tripped you up. We talked about that, and you might have been like, yeah, I got that, and you did get that. Everybody got that. I didn't hear any mistakes, unless someone wants to own up to something, because I didn't hear it. But in bar 7, there was a bit of a trip up with waiting for the note to happen, and also after you've got that down. I don't think anyone played on the rest, but or sang on the rest, but it screwed with the syllables. You know, like you might have said me in the wrong spot, but that's fine. Something that will help with that is to tap the rhythm behind that. And so I want you to visually tap, that way I can see, like you can do your lap, you can do your chest, you can clap, you can snap. And if you snap, do this though, so I can see. But yeah, we're going to do that on the beat, not with the music, so like, you know, that would be crazy. But, so just on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what we're going to do, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Ta di ta di ta di ta, takadimi takadimi ta di ta, ta di ta di takadimi ta, takadimi 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 ta, ta di takadimi ta mi ta, ta di takadimi ta di ta di takadimi di ta. Okay, something I noticed this time through is that we played this perfectly, but then we started to screw up in other places, and I think it's because you might be thinking you've been focusing really hard on the parts that we're saying are difficult, but really it's all just simple. You got this. Are there any questions about any phrasing? Do you need me to show an example of any particular part? Is it everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna run through this, and then we're gonna try and add the backgrounds on the improv section. And I'm going to tell you go on, and if I say go on, I want you to go on and play this. And I'll be saying go on probably in about bar 16. So if I stop, don't stop. Just keep going, regardless of what I say. But if I say go on, then we're going to play the last phrase, which is very similar to this one, but remember there are a couple of differences. Is everybody fine on that? Any questions?
On the improv section,
Yes.
you don't want us playing that, you want us making something up, or are we playing what's written right now?
All you're doing is playing this.
Okay.
Yes. This is the backgrounds. It's the written backgrounds in a jazz song. They're cued. Sometimes they're playing. Sometimes they're not. In this case, that's all we're going to be doing until we get to the drums. So we're going to do first phrase, and then this is just the improv section, but we won't be improvising yet. Just the backgrounds and no repeats. We're just gonna if I feel like you guys can handle it, we'll probably go on. But if not, we'll stop and try and work on something. Is everybody okay on that now? Good. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go.
Ta di ta di ta di ta, takadimi takadimi ta di ta, ta di takadimi ta, takadimi 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 ta, ta mi takadimi ta mi ta, ta di takadimi ta di ta di takadimi di ta, ta 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 ta. Ta, di ta di ta di ta 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 di ta ta di ta.
Go on. Oh,
Ta
sorry.
takadimi ta di ta di ta ta di takadimi ta takadimi takadimi ta ta mi takadimi ta mi ta. Ta di takadimi ta di ta ta.
Okay, sorry I missed the go on, but you guys picked up on it and you jumped right back into it. Something that I noticed was that without me even saying anything about it, I mean, you two probably already knew about this, but I had never mentioned what syllable a half note is, but you just picked up on it because you naturally have a musical ability for this. And you were completely right. It's just ta, and you sing it all the way through. And also the dotted quarter, you guys nailed. And then I tripped some people up by forgetting to say go on, but you guys did jump back into it. But this like little rhythm right here got us. But you did get it up here, but then bar 8 isn't the same down here. It's a repetition of the phrasing, but bar 17 is not the same as bar 1, and bar 24 is not the same as bar 8. Those are the only differences. Other than, I think I heard maybe a couple of people say me instead of ta-ka, the K, but that's fine. It was just probably a minor mistake, you know. So now we're going to try and run through it all the way and no repeats again, and try and get the rhythm really solid, but without me singing. So I'll be watching for your accuracy, okay? And this isn't what you're going to be graded on or anything. You guys are fine. You can like just go for it, and if you make mistakes, don't worry about it. I'll tell you, and you can move on. So we're just going to go all the way through, no repeats. Any questions? Okay. 1, 2, ready, go.
Ta dee ta dee ta dee ta, takadimi takadimi ta dee ta, ta dee ta dee takadimi ta, takadimi 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 ta, ta mi takadimi ta mi ta, ta dee takadimi ta dee ta dee ta takadimi dee ta, ta ta ta, ta 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 ta, ta dee ta dee. Dee ta dee ta 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 dee ta ta dee ta 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 takadimi takadimi ta dee ta dee takadimi ta takadimi 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 ta mi takadimi ta mi ta dee takadimi ta dee ta dee. Dee ta ta dee ta dee ta dee ta.
Great job. That was great. I think there was only really one mistake, but that was great, everybody. So now that you've got the rhythm in your head, is everybody comfortable with this? They've got this down. You feel like you can play it on the drum now?
Yeah.
Everybody got it? Okay. So we're gonna try it on the drum now. No improv. We're just gonna do the same thing we did, but we're going to be counting instead of saying takadimi, okay? So we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat, and then we'll be playing the rhythm that we just sang on the drum. So it's kind of like a switch up. You were keeping the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then saying it, but now you'll be keeping the beat with your mouth and playing the rhythm on your drum. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How are we counting?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Are
we allowed to say like ands and stuff like?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
So for right now, let's just do a run through without counting, because it's pretty difficult to like syncopate those rhythms, you know. We can also it's just you want to keep the same rhythm in your head. So instead, I'll be keeping the rhythm on my drum, and then you guys can play the rhythm. And if you have any questions, if you need to stop, just raise your hand.
Can you also count out loud?
Yes, I can. Okay. Any questions? Everybody okay?
Yep.
Good? Okay.